This is an interesting matchup given the context of the Nurmagomedov clan right now. And I want to talk to you about it because what we have seen 2 weeks ago at UFC 311 with Umar Nurmagomedov, how did he lose that fight? Was it a close fight? Yes, it was a close fight. But how did he lose the fight? He won the first two, and then you just got the gas put on you for the last three, and you tapered out, which happens. It's all good. You look at the Paul Hughes versus Usman Nurmagomedov. He won the fight. He got the belt. But it was close, and cardio definitely became a factor. Now you pull this into Said Nurmagomedov, and you don't look at his last one against Gafarov. You look at the fight before that against Jonathan Martinez, where he lost, right? Which is controversial. It was very controversial, right? But the gas tank was an issue. So, contextually, right, it's very easy to say the Nurmagomedovs as a whole, stock drops, you guys don't have no cardio. It's easy to say that. But when you actually assess things, Usman won for a reason. I see a similar logic here with Said where it's like the stock market. Everyone's down, but you see the real internal analytics of the business of the fighter, and you say, no. I actually think this is a really good opportunity for Said Nurmagomedov to get him at a decent price. So that's my opening statement here for you for this matchup. But Loke Dog, he brings it. And he came off of that knockout of the year. Remember, Bloody Water Podcast knockout of the year. So talk to me about this matchup, brother.
Yeah, so Derek, no, I'm with you on the whole Nurmagomedov stock, everything going in there. That's what you're looking at. You're starting to see a lot of chinks in their chinks, however the word is said, in the armor of the Dagestani fighters going forward, man. Like, they're no longer the boogeymen of MMA, right? We're seeing other fighters be able to get in there, do some different things. Now some losses are coming more people's way. And even though Khabib was the ultimate, right? Gas tank on deck, never faltering. Everything's going right for him. We can see the other fighters just haven't quite got to that system or that thought process or whatever the case is going into that led Khabib to be able to do that, and everybody's still riding high on those coattails. So we're starting to see a lot more of the falters coming out of those lines. But I do agree with you, Said, this is one of the best fights for him to be able to get back on his roll and find his way to be able to create his own name. Because I mean, as a fighter, like, this dude is absolutely killer. Amazing, right? Good striking, fast, excellent kicks, able to have grappling. Like, he is the entire package. Now, the gas tank comes into issue, and that's what we're going to be able to see. Because if he is able to put the work in, especially early, can he continuously put the work in throughout the entire fight, where we've seen his friends and compadres, falter in that aspect? And then Oliveira, man. I mean, the first note I have for him, Derek, is confident style. How can this guy not be confident when he walks in there? He's knocking people out left and right. I mean, he's wild, hands low, he's in the pocket, he's down to trade. And I think that sort of style going forward against a polished striker and fighter that is Nurmagomedov, it's going to be hard, man. It's going to be challenging to be able to withstand somebody who isn't scared of you, your fight, or even your last name. And that's Oliveira. That's Loke Dog.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. Like, at the end of the day, for Nurmagomedov, the number one thing that you can't do that he's too comfortable doing is just sitting on the back foot and counter-striking. Because Loke Dog is going to walk you down, and he's going to try to pin you up against the cage and try to bring the heat. If you're looking at power, I think Oliveira has a very clear power advantage right here. I think Nurmagomedov is just better everywhere else, right? I think he's better technically, better grappling. I think he has better, sharper striking. I think he might have a speed advantage here. I just think that speed advantage sometimes, even though we say, you got the phrase for me, right? Speed, timing. Go ahead. What is it?
Timing beats speed. Precision beats power.
There we go. Right. But sometimes, right, just power beats speed, man. You just hit them too hard and you can't get up. Like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, this can be a really intriguing matchup. I don't anticipate a ton of like I'm gonna go out and just double leg and try to get you down and try to grapple with you. I just see defensive counter grappling for Said Nurmagomedov. Generally, probably gonna keep this on the feet. And if you're looking at Oliveira, man, I just gotta look at the last 5 submission. You got knockouts. You got the whole fucking 9, man. You got this dude Oliveira is nasty. He's nasty. He's killing it right now. He's got a lot of finishes. He's got a lot of power. But the biggest thing here is a size difference. How big do you think the size difference is gonna come into play? Because they're relatively the same size, but just because you're the same size on paper, when you see somebody in person, it could be a little bit different. What do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely, Derek. I forget who posted it. It was on X last fight card for 311, and they were showing the amount or percentage gain of weight that people had after the weigh-ins for the night of the fight. You're seeing Islam was at like 30%. It was wild, like crazy amounts of gains, and I think that's going to be the same thing when you're seeing Loke Dog go in there, and he's bigger now. He's swollen out. He's thick. Whereas Said, he tends to be that slimmer style of fighter going forward. I think size is going to play a massive role into how Vinicius Oliveira is going into this fight, because he's going to want to be the bully. He's going to want to put the pressure on him, and he's not going to want to give Said space in order to start being the technician that Nurmagomedov is.
I got two plays for this matchup right here that kind of allude to what you're mentioning here, man. One is, I think that if Vinicius Oliveira gets a little too prideful, a little bit too confident, I think that submission prop is definitely in play. Plus 335 for Said Nurmagomedov right there. But I do think this is a really good spot to hedge for Vinicius Oliveira if you're confident on that side. I think what we're doing right here for the consensus pick on Nurmagomedov is fading the narrative about the Nurmagomedovs as a whole, because they're all individuals. You can't judge them as a group. It's not how it works, right? But I do think that Oliveira's stock is really high right now, and plus 135 is indicative of how people feel about him. Because otherwise, as you had mentioned, literally 2 weeks ago, holding the name Nurmagomedov oftentimes majorly inflates your stock in the eyes of the odds makers, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this is one of the more fair lines we've seen come out, and it could be another recency bias thing we're saying, where we've seen a couple of them falter, so now not everybody has them on the golden pedestal. I mean, Said can easily change that narrative right back again and have himself sitting nice and pretty.
That's it. So consensus pick, Said Nurmagomedov. Like I said, folks, live odd, minus 160 right now. I love that one. And if you're looking at the over 2.5, minus 155 was the opening line for that one. If we're looking at what it is currently right now, we're looking at minus 145 over 2.5, plus 115 under. I think the finish, I mean, that's the thing. I think he could snatch up a submission. I think Lokdal could knock him out. But I think the over is probably going to be a good play right there. You in consensus?
I think the over is the safe play right here, Derek. And if you're looking for an actual prop, I mean, the plus 150 decision is always safe, especially for a technician. But I like that plus 335, Derek. I'm with you.